All eyes on Doge. Big run up to the moon. Whew. Doge still going up. All eyes on Doge. Still big run up to the moon. Keep going up. Going up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. Up. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin. Upward movement in Doge. Dogecoin. 42.69. All eyes on Doge. Dogecoin.
Hey everybody, Kriss here. Welcome on a Sunday. How's everybody doing? Doing all right? On a Sunday. Not a lot going on with Doge, as we talked about yesterday. I thought we would just kind of be going sideways. So we got some little up and down action, up and down with Dogecoin. But it's not so bad. Still over 26 cents, holding well, not dropping. So hopefully we will be able to hold that price on Sunday nights. Sunday nights get a little iffy. There's some events coming up this week that I will talk about, and I will show you some Bitcoin charts, and of course, Doge. And there's some news. There is some news, some Dogecoin news that was started because of me. Yes, because of me. Now, I don't have time to get into all of it in detail. I'm going to do that in tomorrow morning's video, but we will talk about it here in just a little bit. So welcome everybody. Welcome. Come on in. Grab a seat, a beverage if you like. And let's talk crypto, Doge, Bitcoin, ETH. Peak? Peak? What? Peak? That just sounds weird saying. Yeah, a lot going on. Let's get into it. Let's get into it, shall we? So look. We're talking about ETFs this week, and the ETFs launched for Dogecoin and XRP. Yes, XRP. XRP did also have an ETF launch the same time that Dogecoin's ETF launched. The first ETF launched on Thursday. But we know the first one was Bitcoin. And Bitcoin had about 8 or 9 of them, and one of them was by BlackRock. And BlackRock, I mean, look at this. This is comparing the BlackRock ETF to all other ETFs ever created, and which were the fastest to get to $80 billion. $80 billion in assets. Those people just giving them money, right, into ETFs. We had the VOO, we had the IEFE, we had the IMG, 2,000 days, 1,800 days for VOO. The VOO ETF, awesome. That's great. How long did it take one of the, not all the Bitcoin ETFs, but just one of them, the one of them called IBIT, which is hosted by BlackRock, to get to $80 billion? 374 days. $80 billion have been put into that one Bitcoin ETF, just blowing away the VOO with 1,800 days to get to $80 billion. So the ETFs do have an appetite for buyers. Now, I don't know what the numbers are on Dogecoins or XRPs yet. I'll be looking for those numbers next week. But this is what an ETF can do, though. I mean, Bitcoin's supposed to be the digital gold. We get all that. But there's people buying the Dogecoin ETF, like yours truly. I bought some. A lot of you guys may have bought some. So ETFs. And then we're still looking for the grayscale one, which is the bigger one for Dogecoin on around October 17th. And there's also an XRP one on that day too. So XRP and Doge, we just can't get away from XRP. And of course, for those wondering, yes, I did make an XRP video this morning. So if you want to know anything about XRP, go watch that video. I have a feeling I would be saying that again. Yeah, so look, Mag says Bitcoin's not done yet this cycle. Bitcoin is not done this cycle. And he's saying the 2.618 fib is 154, but the 3.618 fib is 207. And he's pointing to 207. Fibonacci extensions play a very important role in identifying key support and resistance levels once we enter price discovery, because it's never traded that high before. We know what the previous all-time high was at 69K. We do know that also we just reached a new all-time high of 124.6, but we're not done yet. And that's what all of these charts are showing. We are not done yet this cycle for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to go higher. Does it stall out at the 2.618, $154,000? Or does it go even higher to the 3.618 at 207? On my XRP video this morning at the end, I did show that 2.618 fib level on XRP and what that expected price would be. And that was in that video. In the previous cycle, Bitcoin peaked exactly at the 3.618 fib. The 3.618 fib is where it peaked last cycle, which is why the 3.618 is being pointed to here. So we already beat the 1.618. We got the 2 and the 3, possibly still to come. So this cycle, not over yet. If you are a believer in the 4-year cycles, we still got a good couple months, 2.5, 3 months, 3 months of trading yet. And of course, George is like, look at the M2 money supply, still going up. And if you do a 1 month lag, a 3 month lag, 90-day lag, 3 month lag in these, you would guess that this is going to turn around. Bitcoin's going to go up because of all the money supply still going up. A lot of people use this as a reference. It kind of tagged along pretty closely. Little divergence has been happening now since Bitcoin hit that 124,500 new all-time high, and Bitcoin kind of fell back a little while the money supply was still going up. But that can happen. If we continue to follow along, though, we will see this come back up for Bitcoin. We have a busy week ahead. We have on Monday, we have the U.S. Fed Governor Moran is going to speak. He was the one that voted for a 50 basis point cut. So it'll be interesting to see what he says tomorrow, why he thought a 50 basis point cut was what he thought should have happened. On Tuesday, Fed Chair Powell. Chair Powell is going to talk on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, we've got Q2 GDP. And on Friday, we've got more PCE inflation numbers. So that's what the week ahead looks like. But look, stocks are at a record high. The Fed just cut rates. So we think what they say this week could set the tone for Q4. But most people are just saying, we're going to go higher. We're just going to go higher. So we think Bitcoin's going to go higher. What about Dogecoin? What about Dogecoin? Well, here's our friend Kaleo looking at the Doge versus Bitcoin chart. And if Bitcoin's going to go up, what's Dogecoin going to do? Dogecoin is going to go up at a higher rate. So we may be a little down today, but the up is coming. Thus, today's Dogecoin up, Dogecoin down. We're going back up. We're going to go back up. Now, it could take a couple weeks for us to begin that next big run up, particularly Doge versus Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin is just going to putter around between 115 and 116 for the next couple weeks, again, we have the possibility of the United States government shutdown on October 1st. Yes, that is still a thing. That is still a possibility. I kind of think at midnight, Congress is going to get their act together at the last second and pass yet another continuing resolution. But we will see. We will see how that goes. But that is that. Now, also, last night I posted this. It's too bad the Doge 1 mission didn't happen. What a great event that would have been. And this was an old, like, photoshopped thing of an old SpaceX rocket with the Dogecoin logo put on it. Back from a few years ago. But I pull these things out, right? And just kind of talk about these things. I kind of talk about these things. But yeah, it's too bad. The Doge 1 mission, that would have been awesome. Dogecoin to the moon, like all that stuff. We were hyped for it. You know? But wait. The head of Geometric, who actually paid the Dogecoin to Elon Musk and SpaceX in order to have the Doge 1 mission, guess what he said? He said, I'm still launching Doge 1. I'm still launching Doge 1. I said, hey, there's been no updates in a very long time, so I thought the Doge 1 mission was dead. And this guy Samson replied, but I think he's looking at, let's see what this is. Second half of 2026. Second half of 2026. So Doge 1 still alive, but it's more than a year away. So it is. But that's better than being dead. And then, of course, I can pat myself on the back for like starting this whole discussion about the Doge 1 mission. So I'll be making a video on this tomorrow, a little more in depth, because this is big news, even though it's not till 2026. But you know how these space programs, I mean, it takes a while, right? But I thought they were all set to go about 2 years ago, and then it didn't happen. So, right, Charlotte, it gives us something to talk about in the bear market. Food and Doge 1. Exactly. Exactly. Food and Doge 1. That's what we're going to be talking about next year. Oh, and maybe XRP. And maybe a little XRP. I'm very curious about this whole XRP thing because you know, right? You know that I did post, right? That I made this XRP video. And this guy, Contrarian DNA, got into this whole thing about if XRP was a fraud, it wouldn't be working with 100 plus central banks on CBDCs. And I'm like, what? Is he serious? Is he serious? He thinks that working with central banks on CBDCs makes XRP a good thing. And I'm just like, oh man. But wait, he's not done yet. Backed by a US court ruling confirming it's not a security. And I'm like, yeah, but there's a lot of other cryptos that aren't securities either. So nothing special with that. Powering real-time payments across 55 countries. And I'm like, no, that's not XRP. That's Ripple. Ripple powers the payments. XRP is just a token. It doesn't do anything. And then finally, building the first regulated XRP ETFs. And I'm just like, regulated ETFs? You're going to hang your hat on ETFs? There's already a Bitcoin one. There's an ETH one. There's a Dogecoin one. So why does that make XRP anything special? Ugh. The XRP Moon Boys, I tell you. So, and then we went back and forth a few times, and you want to read all that, you can, but it's just like, oh. But hey, I knew some of that was going to come out, but it's like, they're pretty weak pretty weak arguments in favor of XRP. So, yeah, XRP to $500. Hit the like and subscribe. There you go. And sign up for my course where I'll teach you everything you need to know about XRP. Link in the description below. Sign up to my course. And I'm going to give away 1,000 XRP. I'm giving away 1,000 XRP. Wink, wink, nod, nod. XRP is still below $3. Also going sideways. Nothing different. All the same. So how's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? Wouldn't they try to suppress Ethereum's price so that it remains accessible to normal average folks? They would suppress Ethereum's price for other reasons. They don't care about who's buying or not buying. You can always buy portions of ETH, just like you can buy portions of Bitcoin. People say, oh, I'm all priced out of Bitcoin. I'm like, well, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin, right? You can buy sats, right? You can buy pieces. And I know it's like, I got to buy 0.00015 Bitcoin. I don't even know what that is. But so you can still buy Bitcoin if you want to buy Bitcoin. Trix is working on a Sunday. I was relaxing a bit, did a little bit of work around the house, watched football game with some friends. We lost. It happens. And now I'm here, hanging out with you guys. I'm not a moon boy, but XRP will do fine. And and that's what I said in the video too. I did say that. It's like you can still make money on XRP. I just don't like the project. I don't like Ripple. I don't like their leaders. I don't like the tokenomics of the XRP token. If you go into the details and you start looking at it, you're like, oh, that's really kind of crappy, isn't it? I'm just saying. But it doesn't mean you can't make money on it. I'm not saying XRP is going to zero. So, only Dogecoin. I get that. I get that. I look at I concentrate a lot on Dogecoin, but I look at the whole crypto kind of space overall because Dogecoin's related to it and is affected by it. So we do cover that. And then, people have diversified portfolios. We may have a core holding of Doge, but may have some other things. And so we talk about them too. We've just had an XRP course for free. Thank you. Heard all you needed to know right there. That's right. There it was. It just raises a lot more questions than I can find answers for. And nobody argued any of those points with me yet. I've had no arguments about any of those things that I raised because they're all kind of true. They're all kind of true. Like I said, I'm keeping it real. It's all kind of true. Bitcoin's price has been acting weird on coin market cap today. Down 1,000, up 1,000. Really? I did notice that. Bitcoin today on coin market cap. 115.5 now. It looks regular to me. Up to 116, down to 115.3. It's in the zone. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it there, Darth Mike. It looks pretty regular to me. And it matches the Bitcoin price for today on TradingView. So, yeah. Maybe there were a few times where it kind of wigged out a little bit and it corrected itself. Maybe. Thoughts on Pendle? That's not one I normally look at. Pendle. Pendle's $5, right down to $5. It's kind of following everything else today. Yep. It's interesting. It had a deeper dip in March than April. It went all the way from $7 down to $1.80. Now up to $5. That's a pretty good return from that dip. But it just kind of seems to be going a little bit sideways now. I'm just looking at the chart. I don't know what Pendle actually does. Interesting that it's lower than it was in 2024, where Doge is higher than any peaks in 2024, and Pendle is lower. You couldn't build on 2024. That's odd, I would say. That's just what I see. Just taking a look at it quickly. Good luck with your Pendle. But it's just kind of following the market today. Hello, Nye. Do you think if there would be peace deal, there would be an extended cycle? I think the extended cycle just goes beyond the normal news, whether there's an extended cycle or not. So I wouldn't tie it to any specific piece of news if it does happen. Oversold for the week, but you're looking at a monthly chart, Andrew. Let's take a look. The monthly. Yeah, the monthly looks great. Curling up from the dips we had April, June, July, August, all higher lows. September now, a higher low. So that's all good. We're still in this zone between the orange and the green, basically. We had a couple little top-offs early 2024, and of course, the end of 2024, November into December. We were right there. And of course, my chart, I'm calling for possibly 85 cents would at least hit that line, or do we just hit that previous all-time high? So that's what this chart shows that I've got. That would be that move right there. But yes, this is a pretty good positive chart. And then on the weekly, you want to see the RSI and see if we're oversold. No, we're right in the middle. Totally right in the middle on the weekly chart. So we were overbought back here. Of course, that was November into December, right? The big run up to 48 cents, overbought. We came back down in April. We were never oversold on the weekly chart. So it was a dip in an overall bull cycle, like I've been saying. And we've kind of generally drifted up through the rest of the year till now. But we're at like 57, 58 on the RSI. So that's not bad. That's not bad. That's what I see. All my eggs are in the Doge basket with some Tesla stock. The weekend, some weekends get to be boring, and this one is one of them. Agreed. Yeah, again, Algorand, I've talked about, and the huge number of tokens that were created over the past 4 years. It's just, I mean, like 4 times as many tokens. I don't know exactly, 3 times as many tokens now in circulation than there were at 2021. So don't compare today's Algorand with the price that Algorand was 4 years ago. You're into these pasta salads, aren't you? The hot dog pasta salad. Wow. Next year is going to be awesome because we'll be talking a lot more about food. But we're still in a bull cycle, and we still got stuff to talk about regarding crypto today. So I never heard of Avantis, Jonathan. Don't know what it is. Might be a glitch on the UK side. You can do a screenshot and you can post it on the YouTube community. You can always do that. I'm not all in on any coins or tokens. I have 5 different. Keeping it real. Thank you. That's what I try and do. Hi, John. Good day to you. Do you think we'll reach 44 cents soon? Still have it from the fall. Just want to get out. I watched the 2-year outlook. Really didn't catch how high. Well, I thought the 2-year outlook was pretty clear where I called what the potential price of Dogecoin is, 44 cents. I don't think that's going to happen in October, maybe November. So we'll be looking for the run-ups when they happen, when price expansion takes off. So we'll see. Yeah, again, timber compound. Nothing to be upset about on yourself because nobody was predicting that. Trump was going to be the crypto president, right? And everything was going to be great. And we were going into 2025 and like the 4th year and the 4-year cycles and everything was bullish. And so everyone was thinking it. And it took me a whole month to figure out by the end of the month, I needed to take my profits and ended up losing out on a lot of potential gains because of that. So, yep. Awe. I don't know what awe is, Nye. Awe. What is that? Awe USD. It's at 8 cents. You bought some at 5. It had this big run here this morning. And you didn't take profits up here at 8.5. So now it's down to 8. Except for this one on Thursday, every other little pump has kind of pulled back. So it looks like this still has a lot of momentum though. So I don't know. But you bought it at a good price, 5.2 cents. So that would have been back here. Yeah, it would have been back here about a week and a half ago, 5.2. So that's pretty good, right? You're up over 50%. But what would you do with that money then? You're going to buy something else? You're looking at something else to buy? Or you thinking this might dip and you buy in more at a lower price? I don't know about that. This doesn't look like it's going to go down much more if it follows what it's been doing. The RSI didn't peak out and overbought here like it did back here with that run. So, yeah. Dogecoin's dipping, yeah. It's been this way all afternoon. 26.2, yep. This is the down part of the up and down. AVAX is holding well. AVAX has a lot of momentum right now. Now, the big run that it had here up over $35 did get AVAX into overbought on a 30-minute chart. But you go out to the daily chart and it's like, well, it did. It actually did get an overbought on the daily chart. On Thursday, it was overbought. So, yeah, there's some profit taking. Those that use this RSI on the daily, yeah, it was overbought. So, little profit taking going on from $35. But it's only down to 33. That's not a big drop. And of course, Dogecoin was overbought on the 13th of September when it came up over 30 cents. So those who follow that RSI and they trade that overbought, they were selling, taking profits. How many dips? I told you the next 2 weeks are going to be sideways, choppy. We already had a run earlier in the month. It doesn't keep going up all month. So, and then we wait and see what happens on October 1st. Pasta salad's looking good. You make everybody hungry when you're doing these things. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. What's going on with Moodang? Kenny asks. Moodang. Which one was I looking at again? Moodang? I forget. Maybe it was this one. Yeah, this is the one we were looking at. No, Moodang kind of did its own thing here a week ago. It went on its own kind of run. We looked at this. Had a secondary run up here on Thursday, but it's kind of selling off. So this is a little different than Doge's chart, just because of this big run that it had here a week ago. So 16 cents now. It was up over 22, 23. We'll see if it gets back up over 20 cents. My average buy is 9 cents. I didn't want to risk, so you sold about 20%. Took a little slice of profit. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. I don't think it's going to drop below 23 cents, Chad. I'm not seeing that. I said maybe into the 25s, but that's about it. Of course, it's going to roll into your Doge like everything else. You swing it back into Doge. You asked Grok about Dogecoin Grayscale ETF approval date, and it shows November. Nope. The guys at Bloomberg are saying October 17th. I don't know why Grok would say November. I think probably because other people have been falsely reporting that the ETFs got delayed until November. No. There's a Bitwise ETF, which always had its final date in November and didn't get delayed. It just was following its normal path. It's just so confusing. I don't know why people just don't get it. I've said it like a million times. Grayscale October, Bitwise November, 21 shares January. And people don't believe me. I don't know. Do I think it can recover? Fartcoin? Of course. Fartcoin's going to go back over $1. Christoph is saying it's a pump tonight because he's not working. I saw that. You want to see the big green candle? We'll see what happens tonight. I'm not expecting a big green candle, but maybe a recovery. We'll be watching for that. I put a buy order in on Robinhood for Doge at 26.3. It dipped below that strike price 2 or 3 times and still hasn't picked you up. Yep, that's Robinhood. To hit 26.3, it would have to hit 26.1, about 26.1 to get a 26.3 price. So it got close. It got close here, but that's how Robinhood works. That's that gap between the bid and the ask, the bid and the price, right? That's how they make their money. It's not a dump. It's not a dump. This isn't a dump. Zoom out. Not a dump. We had a bit of a dump back here, the middle of the month, and then since then, and that again was the profit taking from the totally overbought, right? RSI up at 30 cents. And now we're going sideways. Yeah, we had a little run up, retrace back, and back sideways. Yeah, I don't know about a cards crypto, Will. I guess now is a good time to be hungry if it's going to happen since it's dinner time. Always there with the good thoughts there. I'm praying October will be a good month. Ryan has gone out to check out casinos, hotels, restaurants. Got to check out the burger places, like all of that, getting prepped for a Charlotte visit. We'll go with the ups. I know, Yan. We'll get there. We will get there. Posted my weird BTC chart to the community. All right. Dr. Mike, let's check it out. For those that don't know what the community is, you go on your phone to the YouTube app, and then you go to my channel. That's the KrissPax channel on the app. And there's a little button there that says Visit Community. So you click that, and then you go to the newest, and you'll see, here's my weird BTC. Whoa! Now mine does not look like that. What is this? Oh, it's the Bitcoin to GBP. I think this is a GBP problem, not a Bitcoin problem, is what I think. Wow. That is, yeah, he's got some weird lines going up there. Yeah, that's a GBP problem. Wow. Yeah, because my chart, Bitcoin to US dollars, it doesn't look like that. Weird day, huh? Weird day. We're hoping for not to have a dump Sunday into Monday. So far, we're holding up. Again, right back where we were last Monday. That was the dip we had. So last Monday, we dipped right down to this level and then went sideways. So here we are again. Are we predicting a dollar? Kriss is not necessarily predicting a dollar. So anybody who's, oh, Kriss said, no, I didn't say. I showed what the possibilities are, what Dogecoin's price would have to do to get to a dollar. I've always said a dollar would be really, really hard. Needs its own big catalyst, a lot of FOMO, like all of that coming in. And it's going to be really, really hard. It's going to be hard enough just to get back to our previous all-time high. Here we are, September 21st, first day of fall, today, tomorrow, whatever. And Dogecoin's at 26 cents. So we got a long ways to go. You want to see the Bollinger Band? Sure. We can do Bollinger Bands. Let me turn off the RSI. Get rid of that. And then we turn on the Bollinger Bands. All right, got the Bollinger Bands on. And you want to see it in the 4-hour chart. Kind of going sideways. It's been low volume. So Bollinger Bands are a little tight. We're below the middle line, but not much happening. We went slightly above the upper line here on Wednesday. Of course, the big run that we had here last weekend on Friday into Saturday was all hugging the top line of the Bollinger Bands. We had good volume, right? Good spread, but all that is tightening up on the Bollinger Band. So, hi, Miwi. I am having an amazing evening. It's all right. All right, just chilling with you guys. If everyone in the chat buys Doge right now, would it start to pump? Yeah, well, we're not the ones that have like huge amounts of buying power. Everything's already in the crypto market. We don't have all this cash. We've been buying dips and buying dips and buying dips. We got no more. Got nothing else to buy dips with. Ugh. Getting impatient. Do you want to see 40 cents again? I get it, but we're still in September. Everybody's prepping for a Charlotte visit to the United States. Yeah, something weird with the British pound there. I don't know. That's a weird chart. That's because you're the queen of Doge. Oh. You made me hungry. Now I'm going to sell 100 Doge to get a white sauce chicken pasta. Sure. Use your Doge. Use your Doge. What was the best price to take profit? So far, May 7th, 2021. 73 cents. William has a birthday coming up on the 24th. That would be what, Wednesday? So it's going to crash on your birthday? You have that kind of power? Oh. Hey, Brian. We're just hanging out. Again, Doge just kind of going sideways. I mean, that's why I made an XRP video today. Like I said, it was like, if there's nothing going on, I'm just going to make an XRP video. So I did. No, Doge just hanging. I have $5 spare. Let's all put $5 in and see the big green candle. Not. Especially if it's on Robinhood, since it doesn't have any effect on the price on Robinhood. So, yep. 28 cents tomorrow. Let's see if we can get 27 first. 27 right there, yellow line. We were almost up there last night. Last night was looking good, trying to get to 27 and didn't make it. And this morning, didn't make it. Still taking out shorts on Aster. Look at that. And Avant. Still taking out shorts. Along with Merle and Pump. World Liberty Finance is going down, taking out longs. Doge, Pump, ETH. Yeah, Doge, our Bitcoin's just going sideways. Bitcoin's not taking out anything. Making XRP videos was a bit Twilight Zone-y. But it was done in a Kriss kind of way, though. So yeah, look at today. No leverage taken out, high or low, of anything significant on Bitcoin. So the market makers were taking a break on Bitcoin. Nothing going on. Doge took out some longs. Waiting. Waiting. Yeah, right there. So we had the Doge dip there, 26.2, 26.1, took out some leverage longs. Let's go get the shorts now. And you have to go look at the comments too. The comments are actually kind of, I mean, they're okay. Nothing really spicy. Good comments though. People appreciate it. I made the video, and there's some comedy there. Bradley, you think it's going to go down below 26 cents before it goes up? Maybe. There's not a lot of huge leverage down there, at least not a lot of new huge leverage. There's some longer ones here. Still open. 26 down to 25.6. So, yeah. What's the favorite platform or trading crypto? Well, it depends on what you're doing. I personally use Coinbase for most of my trading just because I like the advanced trading platform. You get the best price there of anything here in the United States. It's the best platform for trading crypto. Now, if you want to go for some unique kind of tokens, then crypto.com. And again, I have a link below if you want to join crypto.com. I have a link for Coinbase. You use my link and you fund a new Coinbase account with at least $100. You get to spin the big Bitcoin wheel and maybe earn some Bitcoin. I think they're still doing that. And then I also have Robinhood, which is good, I think, for beginners. But if you're really doing a lot of crypto trading, Robinhood really isn't your best platform. Again, because of the spread between the bid and the ask and all of those challenges that Robinhood has with that. So that's what I use, are those three. This week, October profit taking maybe 36 cents. Yeah, end of October. Maybe. That is going to be what I'm going to talk about in a week and a half when I make my Dogecoin October price prediction video. Yes, that's coming in a week and a half. If there is a government shutdown and a result the markets plummet, then does that mean the bull run is over? Who knows, Matt? And are the markets really going to plummet, or is it just a quick pullback and then everyone realizes it's just a dumb thing and the markets come right back up? Because that happens too. See, Ahmed, what do you mean it doesn't affect the price on Robinhood? Yeah, on crypto, Robinhood is not an exchange. Robinhood holds a crap ton of crypto, particularly Dogecoin. And when you buy and sell Dogecoin on Robinhood, it has no effect on the price because it doesn't show up anywhere. Those purchases and sales are not anything on any blockchain. No crypto is being moved. So it doesn't affect the price. And that is Robinhood. Yeah, I just talked about Coinbase and crypto.com for different reasons. Bradley thinks maybe 22 cents for government shutdown. Joseph would say, if that comes, I'll make a large purchase. You said, oh, snap. Okay. Oh, snap. Isn't that crazy? That Bitcoin heat map? Just Bitcoin just going sideways, not taking out the longs, not taking out the shorts, just hanging out all day. Alan, you've got a large amount of Doge. You want to move it to your Ledger wallet. Yeah. Is your Ledger wallet ready? Ledger Live, you got Ledger Live. You don't really need it. All you need is your wallet address, your Ledger wallet address. And then you go into Robinhood. You do it all within Robinhood. Now it's going to take a while, and I suggest you first do a test transfer of like 10 Dogecoin. Seriously, don't try and move it all the first time. Okay? Just do 10 Doge, okay? And within Robinhood, let me get my Robinhood fired up, okay? Within Robinhood, you'll see at the bottom here, right? There's two, right now they're red buttons because Doge is down. They turn green if Doge is up. That's buy and sell. You don't want to do that. You want to scroll further, scroll up, and you'll see in white, you'll see send and receive. So you want to send. So you'll do send, and then you can either take a snapshot of a QR code. If you have a QR code, like in Ledger Live, you can do a QR code, or you can hit the enter manually button and you can paste in your wallet address or just type it all in. And then once you do that, then you say send, validate it, and there it goes. Except it doesn't go right away. It takes like an hour. Seriously. Because it's a Robinhood problem. Again, you don't have your own wallet on Robinhood. The Doge is sitting in a Robinhood wallet. So somebody has to manually take that Doge, however much Doge that you want to transfer, right? Let's say it's 100,000 Doge. Well, somebody on the Robinhood side has to manually move 100,000 Doge into, from one wallet to another wallet to prepare it to transfer to you. And that's what takes a while. Once it transfers, it's done in less than a minute. But with Robinhood transferring on and off, it can take up to an hour. And if you're moving a large quantity of Doge, you start getting a little anxious, don't you? You're just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. That's why you do a test transfer first, just like 10 Doge, and make sure it's all right, and then do the rest. Yeah, send a small amount first. Absolutely. I just sold some XRP and Solana and bought Doge. I made you do it. All right. Hey, if I can get you out of the XRP token and buy some Doge, I think you'll be happy. Doge is going to outperform XRP over the next 2 months. There, I said it. I said the real part out loud. Dogecoin is going to outperform XRP over the next 2 months. Not financial advice. Right. Legend Live. Yeah. Legend Live. I have 17 Doge miners. Only running the 4 best until winter. You haven't used any heat since 2021. Yeah, I can't wait to get mine. And I'm going to have mine sitting right in my kitchen and let it heat up the kitchen in the wintertime. And then probably next summer, I will switch over to Wi-Fi and put it down in the basement. But we're going to let it go plugged in once I get it. And it's going to be right there in the kitchen. I've got a lot more XRP and Doge, so you have to make me sell that to Kriss. We got my pinger on. What is pinging? ETH. $250,000 on ETH. Well, that was a new trade. Somebody lost $250,000 in about an hour. Just got taken out. Oh, man. What are people thinking? Not financial advice, of course. When everything is finished, you can make videos on how to withdraw money from Robinhood and put it in your bank account. No, that's pretty easy too. I don't even make a video of that. That you've got a different way to go for that, and that's withdrawal. So for that, on Robinhood, you click on the lower right-hand corner. You click the lower right-hand corner, which is, the little person, right? You click on that. And then you click on the little upper left-hand corner, the menu, which is the 3 little lines. And then you go to transfers, which is the third thing down, which is transfers right there. Click on that. And then you can withdraw. That's the middle button right there, withdraw. Just click on that. Now, if you don't already have a bank account set up, you'll have to set that up, but you should have probably already had it to bring stuff onto Robinhood. But if you didn't, you created a Robinhood account and you transferred things from somewhere else into Robinhood, you got to link up a bank account. That's it. Don't have to make a video. All done. Do I see it dipping below 24 before the moon launch? Well, the moon launch isn't going to be for another year. So, we'll see what the bear market brings next year. Don't know. Is there an XRP Doge chart? Ooh, Maxim, good question. Is there an XRP Doge chart? I don't see XRP Doge. Let me try Doge XRP. There is a Doge XRP chart. Here it is. Doge XRP. So Doge has been outperforming XRP since July 17th. Dogecoin has outperformed XRP by 50%. Wow, I didn't know that. Here we go. Doge XRP. This is a good one. I'll watch this. I'll watch this one. Doge XRP. Since the middle of July, Dogecoin has outperformed XRP by 50%. Interesting. Interesting. So that would have been a time to sell your Doge and buy XRP at the peak right there. Let's look at the history, though. Yeah. So XRP did, the early part of November, Doge outperformed XRP, and then XRP killed Doge through the retrace in 2025, January, February, and through most of March. XRP outperformed Doge on the way down. And that's the same thing happened with Bitcoin too. It's the same thing that happened with Bitcoin. Interesting. I'll be watching that. Doge XRP. Hi, Ray. How are you? I don't know the Doge OS release date, Justin. I don't know. De nada, Armando. Technically, if I start mining with luck, I can find a Bitcoin now. You need a little luck. Boy, solo mining, trying to get that Bitcoin. Oh, like a needle in a haystack. Good luck. It's very rare. Every once in a while I see posted on X, like someone, a solo miner got a block. Maybe once a month. I don't know if there's a place that like tracks all that stuff. But maybe once a month somebody gets a Bitcoin block. Solo mining. I'm not going to try it with Doge right away. I'm just going to join a pool and let that go for a while. And then I'm going to look more into Doge solo mining, maybe in the bear market, and try that out. But not right now. Too much competition. The hash rate is at all-time highs. I'm not going to be trying to solo mine Dogecoin. Hey, Donald, how are you? Welcome. How you doing? We're just hanging on a Sunday. Hanging on a Sunday. Not a lot going on. Just ups and downs. We already did a little check on next week. What might be coming? Not much. And I kind of suspect for the next week and a half, we're just going to be bouncing around in this range. Bitcoin between 115, 116, maybe a little higher, a little lower here and there, but not a lot of movement. Not expecting it from this point. There is something moving, which I said on the open that we'd take a look at, which is peak. Yes, my friends, peak. Look at that. Woo! Up 20% today. So I'm making a little money. I still have my peak tokens. I'm still down 50%, but it's better than being down 80% or 70 or whatever it was before. So peak is going up 20% on the day for peak. Let's go. Let's go. Dancing Doge. Look at that. Doing good every day. You know, I tried to do good every day today, and this morning I made my XRP video. I thought I was fair. I'll put it that way. Was it doing good? Maybe not. Stirring the pot a little bit, but I had to do it. Had to do it. Has peak? No. I won't be talking about peaking until November. Peaking. I bought a used mini Doge 1 miner off of eBay for $125 to learn. Well, we'll see how it does, Eric. We'll see how it does. Got ETH mining up to 100 a day until ETH changed to proof of stake. Isn't that a bummer? All of the ETH mining went away. Oh. Hey, Milkman. Hey, Zip. The Dancing Doge comes on TradingView. It's awesome. Every once in a while, I don't know what the randomness of it is, but when it comes on, it's always fun. It used to be in color, and then Kobusu passed, and then they changed it to black and white. There's no other crypto that has anything like that on TradingView except Dogecoin, which I think is cool. It's like, it's a Dogecoin thing. It's a Dogecoin only thing. Oh, all right, gang. That's what we got. Look, it's just a little sideways action today, so going to cut it short. I'll be live again Monday. Yes, Monday afternoon. Same bat time, same bat channel right here. I hope everyone has a great evening, rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.